What's going on, guys? Welcome to a brand new video on PrizePicks. We have officially what I would call the real start of the NBA season. Yesterday we just had 2 games. Today we have 12 games. I've got a huge video planned for you guys. We got 6 plays in this video. I want to break down every single one. But first up, go ahead, do me a favor, and actually go ahead and drop a like on this video. Let's try to get to 20 likes in this video. It helps me out a lot. Literally takes 2 seconds, completely free. So go ahead and do that. Sorry if my camera's bugging a little bit, but let's just get right into the video. I'm going to recap what happened yesterday because this is one thing that I always do on the channel. I give out a couple free play locks. My free play lock was Rockets Thunder on the under. And guys, we absolutely have to talk about this before we get into anything else. Rockets versus Thunder was a very defensive battle, exactly like we thought it was going to be. I'll show you guys the box score. What ended up happening in this game was at the end of the fourth quarter, the total was 208 and the line was set at 228. So we nailed it, right? At the end of 4 quarters, if the game just ended, we would have won, but it was an overtime, right? And we still had a good chance of winning. All we needed was 20 points or less in the overtime and we would cash. So in the last 2 seconds of overtime, literally in the last couple shots of overtime, that's when our play busted. And it didn't even matter because it went into second overtime too. But one thing, guys, I always like looking at the bright side. The bright side is, even though we missed out on this play, every casual bettor is going to look at this and go, okay, I'm going to be taking the overs, right? Rockets, Thunder, I'm going to be taking the overs on these teams, right? We know, we watched the game. We know these teams are best defenses in the I was about to say NFL, in the NBA. 2 of the best defenses, I would say the 2 best defenses. We haven't seen everybody play yet. We are going to make a ton of money taking the unders on the Rockets and on the Thunder and every single game they play from here on out. We are going to make so much money because all the lines from now on are going to be inflated because of this game. So there was one game that was an anomaly, a double overtime game, right? NBA gets a ton of reviews. Everybody starts placing on overs. We get to swoop in and take easy unders from here on out. Anyways, that's enough about that. Let's talk about how the VIP did. I'll scroll down and show you guys once again. I mean, it's just predictable at this point. The VIP did great. This is exactly how we've done the last couple of days. We had Bucks Lions, which ended up missing, and then 1 cash, 2 cash, 3 cash, 4 cash. This one missed, obviously. This one also cashed. Warriors on the money line still hasn't greened out yet. I'm recording this early for you guys, just making sure I get the video out as soon as possible. But they are up by 13 points, and it's about to be the 4th quarter. I feel good about it. Since the beginning of October, we are up 49 units, so almost 50 units in the VIP. And all you have to do in the VIP is just copy every single play I give you. It's literally just like 3 to 5 plays every single day. On the weekends, usually it's a little bit more, up to 10 plays. All you do is copy every single play and you will win money on the VIP. It is just that simple. Now, let's talk about how you guys can get VIP for completely free. You can get an entire week of VIP, a whole week of my VIP picks for free. All you have to do is sign up on Sleeper or on Chalkboard with code BAM. But that's enough about that. Also, once you do that, text me at this number just so I can confirm you and send you the link for the free VIP. Let's get into the first play of the day. Oh, such a big slate, guys. I'm actually super pumped for this. But let's talk about number 1, Joel Embiid on the over. So I like Embiid right here. It's a very simple strategy to think about, but when Embiid is healthy, you don't want to bet against him. That is basically as simple as it is, right? And there's a bunch of good, positive metrics that we can see here as well, right? Obviously, Embiid takes most of his, I would say points towards the middle of the court, right? He doesn't really go out the side a lot. Very paint heavy player, right? As he should be. But the opposing defense, the Celtics, are pretty weak against this, and they just traded away Kristaps Porzingis, right? Kristaps Porzingis is now an Atlanta Hawk. He's no longer a Boston Celtic, right? So the Boston Celtics, and I know Porzingis was not a huge factor last year because of his injuries, but basically, if we look at the Celtics depth chart, I'll just show you guys, right? This might be the worst front court in all of basketball. Literally, that's not even crazy to say. And it's weird because we're used to saying a team like the Celtics are going to be great, right? Well, let's look at this. You've got a solid backcourt. Derek White, Anthony Simons, Jaylen Brown, Peyton Pritchard, and Sam Hauser coming off the bench, right? You're going to get a lot of threes up. You're going to be very solid at dribbling the ball, ball handling. All that's going to be solid. But then you look at, or I guess Sam Hauser not exactly coming off the bench. It depends. I mean, it's one of those players where you can play either way. Their front court, Sam Hauser, who really is not a great defender, honestly, when it comes to being big and bruising against a player like Embiid. He's great at shooting threes, right? But he's not a great defender. And then Nehemias Quaid, right? That's their entire front court. Luka Garza is their backup. This is a terrible front court, and probably going to be the easiest front court to score against in all of basketball. Now we get a healthy Joel Embiid, and we know a healthy Joel Embiid is an all-star, right? There's no doubting that, right? The only problem is he can't stay healthy, right? Right now, it's the beginning of the season. Game number 1, he is healthy, he is hungry, he is ready to destroy the Celtics front court. I mean, it's absolutely terrible. I can't emphasize enough how bad this Celtics team is. And I don't think their entire team is bad. I just think this one part of their team is bad. And a front court is very important, right? It's not like Jaylen Brown can just step up and play hero ball on defense and defend against Joel Embiid. Sure, he can step up, play hero ball on offense. Sure, Anthony Simons can do that. Peyton Pritchard, we know, can do that too. When it comes to the defensive end, players like that are no match for Joel Embiid, right? So we're taking Embiid on the over. His line at 25.5. He could genuinely have this in 3 quarters, and people would not even be surprised. Now, let's get into play number 2 right here. Unfortunately, Ant is questionable for this game, but we're going to talk about him as if he's going to play. I think he will end up playing in this one. The line is set at 3.5 for his 3-pointers made, and I like fading Anthony Edwards here. So it's tough to fade the superstar. A lot of people like taking the superstar player on the over, especially if he's your favorite player. What we're here to do is make you guys money. That's literally my only goal on this channel, is to make you guys money. So I'm going to give you guys the best pick every single day, whether that's in line with what the casual bettors are playing, or in line with what the sharp bettors are playing, or just straight up what I believe is the best pick. I'm going to give it to you guys every single day. That's just exactly what I do on this channel. And in this case, a lot of casual players are going to be taking Anthony Edwards on the over, right? You see a lot of green bars here. You see he's been doing great, but you just got to look a little bit further than that and notice that the Portland Trailblazers are one of the best defenses. I just talked about the Thunder. I just talked about the Rockets. The Portland Trailblazers are right up there with them. If you have not been locked into basketball, you will not realize this, right? But over the second half of the season last year, the Portland Trailblazers were the second best defense in the entire NBA. You want to guess who was first? Yeah, that's right. It was the OKC Thunder who ended up winning the championship. The Portland Trailblazers were right up there with the OKC Thunder on the defensive side of the ball. Offensive side of the ball, that's a whole other story. But all we care about right now is the defense. The Portland Trailblazers have a lockdown defense. And what's even more exciting is their best offensive threat, their best offensive threat, who happens to be their weakest defensive threat, Damian Lillard, is out for an extended period of time. It might be the whole season. He might come back towards the end of the season. It doesn't matter. He's out for at least a few months, right? This Portland Trailblazers team knows what they want to be. With Dame, it's a little bit different, right? Right now, they know exactly what they want to be. They want to keep the opposing team to under 100 points if possible. That is all they're trying to do. If they can get their opposing team under 100 points and they can stumble over that line of 100 points on offense, they will win basketball games. People are so unbelievably sleeping on the Blazers right now because of just the name of the team, I guess. We just hear Portland and we go, oh, yeah, that's probably a bad team. I feel, I'm victim to this too sometimes. I hear a team like that and I feel like, well, there's no way they can be good, right? Just because of their name. You hear Celtics and you think they're probably great. You hear Trailblazers, you hear Hornets, and you think they're probably terrible, right? People do not look deeper than that, right? The Portland Trailblazers are an absolute lockdown defense, and people are going to be caught by surprise. If you don't know, I'm telling you now, the Trailblazers are going to lock him up. So Anthony Edwards, you could take him under on points. I'm taking him under on threes. I think he could get 3 threes in this game, but to get 4 threes is a lot. They would have to give up a ton, and I just don't think that's going to happen. If you want to take a look at the defenders that the Trailblazers have, Klingon, huge defender, absolutely great at shot blocking in the paint. Monty Kamara, potential DPOY candidate for the last 2 months of the year. He looked like a DPOY candidate. He was absolutely insane. And then they added Drew Holiday, Jeremy Grant. Denny Avdia is great on defense too, and Shaedon Sharp's just an athletic freak. All of these players are just super solid when it comes to the defensive side of the ball. I don't know what Trailblazers are going to do on offense. That's up to them to figure out. All I know is I'm going to be fading a lot of players when they come up against Portland because that's how solid this defense is. Now, Let's get into play number 3. We're going and we're just flipping to the other side, right? We wanted a great defense, or we wanted a bad defense. I guess I would say, okay, we wanted a great matchup right now, and that means we want a bad defense, right? Before, we were just talking about having a great defense and then fading the player. Now we come up against a terrible defense, right? It's the Charlotte Hornets. The Charlotte Hornets have, I don't know. I don't know what to say, right? The Hornets are a terrible team. As a Hornets fan myself, I feel the pain, right? If you guys are Hornets fans, I'm sure you guys understand. I'm excited to watch LaMelo. I'm excited to watch Trey Mann. I'm excited to watch Colin Sexton, Brandon Miller. But I know none of them are very good on defense, right? That's just the fact of the matter, right? Miles Bridges is all right. And I mean, Con Knipple is still pretty much a question mark. As a rookie, you don't really know with this guy's. But our offense looks okay. As the Hornets, the defense is absolutely terrible. So we're going to use that information to go ahead and take Cam Thomas on the over. Cam Thomas is going to score and score and score at will in this game, right? So he's hit this in 52% of games in the last season, 54% of those last few games, right? If you try to add this, I mean, sample size, you can't really add it that much because he didn't play that many games, right? But in those last few, he was kind of 50-50. And in this first couple weeks in the NBA, we're really trying to feel out every single team, right? But the Hornets, I'm telling you guys, I've got my finger to the pulse of the Hornets, and I know this Hornets team is excited. They're exciting, but not on the defensive end, right? The defense is not there. You've got to start taking players on the over against the Charlotte Hornets. And if you guys didn't know that already, you do now. Cam Thomas is going to be, recipient number 1 of the Hornets being a terrible defense, rolling out the red carpet for him. I think he's going to go over this line of 23.5. Now, play number 3, Victor Wembanyama. This is a big, big game. I'm sure a ton of you guys are going to have this on your TVs. Spurs versus Mavs. So, it's Victor Wembanyama, rookie a few years ago, a couple years ago now, absolutely popped onto the scene. Insane talent against Cooper Flag, Anthony Davis, right? So it's basically the battle of 3 of the best big men in the entire NFL and NBA. I keep saying NFL. I don't know what's going on with me. But we're taking Wembanyama on the over on his rebounds. 10.5 is just simply too low. He's averaging 11.5 last season. And I know everybody's going to say, well, the matchup's not great, right? You got Anthony Davis. You got Cooper Flag. It doesn't matter. When it comes to the Spurs, who's getting the rebounds on the Spurs? It's Vic. Devin Vassell? No way. Stephon Castle? Maybe a couple. Keldon Johnson? Hell no. Dylan Harper, Harrison Barnes? There was literally nobody to challenge Victor Wembanyama when it comes to getting the rebounds for the San Antonio Spurs. So every time a rebound is picked up and it's a Spurs player, I'm pretty sure it's going to be Wemby. And in that case, if the Spurs pick up 15 team rebounds, at least 12, 13 of them will be Wemby. They'll definitely pick up way more than that, but I'm just shortening the sample size so you guys can really understand exactly what I'm talking about, right? So Wemby, always very in contention to hit this line, right? 9 rebounds, 10 rebounds. When he's missing, he's not missing by that much, right? 10.5, we like Wemby on the over. But play number 3, or I keep saying 3, wow, man. Play number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plays. We've gone through 5 places. Play number 5, we're getting into a little bit of a deeper cut here. Not everybody's going to be talking about this man, right? It's not a superstar. The name's Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins, 17.5 points is his line. This Miami Heat team, the line makers really can't figure out what's going to happen, right? They've got Norm Powell at 19.5, and Bam Adebayo at 18.5, Wiggins at 17.5, and, Kyle Ware was popping off last year. We don't know what's going to happen with him. Davion Mitchell was popping off last year. We don't know what's going to happen with him. But basically, they've got 3 players around this 20-point mark, and they just don't know where to sit, right? I'm here to tell you, Andrew Wiggins is probably not that guy, right? Bam Adebayo is going to get a lot more touches than him. Norman Powell is going to get a lot more touches. He was playing like an absolute all-star when he was the number 1 guy on the Clippers because they had injury trouble. He looks great. Andrew Wiggins, not that guy. And once again, we're talking about the matchup. The matchup is so important in basketball. I'd say even more than football. And in this one, they're going up against the Orlando Magic. I mean, this is just a great defense, not a great spot for Andrew Wiggins. But play number 6, Ausar Thompson right here. I like him on the over at 12.5 points. He's been putting in a ton of work this offseason. And if you just saw his brother Amen, that's kind of exactly the same process Ausar was going through. Ausar had an even worse jump shot than Amen, but they both worked hard on their jump shot. Amen just popped off on Tuesday night for 18 points. I think Ausar could do something very similar. And his line is set at 12.5, right? 18 might be a little bit of a stretch, But once again, this is a pretty good matchup for him. So I love those plays. Those are all the plays I got. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys once we make some money.